Hello and welcome to this video for first-time pumpkin crafters on how to make a really nifty paper mache and paper clay pumpkin for a nice Halloween project. Trying to keep this as absolutely simple for first-timers as I can. We're going to use the simplest of tools, simplest of methods, easiest to source materials, so there should be no barriers for anybody to making their own fun little happy pumpkin. We've got 3 difficulty levels. We've got pumpkin and done, we've got adding a little bit of extra face sculpt, and we've got turning your pumpkin into an absolute monster. So feel free to stop the boat at any point where you are done. If you just want to go with him, great. If you want to add a little more, great. If you want to get all the way up, great. But I've got you covered on all these bits. Let's go over the supplies that you need for this project.
For this project, you're going to need some sort of paper product that will soak in water, be it newsprint, toilet paper, paper towel, something along those lines. The only paper that doesn't work well is glossy magazine paper. You will need some flour. The type of flour is largely irrelevant. You're going to need some glue, white glue, wood glue. Most glue compounds will be fine. You're going to need some joint compound. This is Drywall Joint Compound made of gypsum and water. Just about every brand will be fine except one brand called DAP, D-A-P. The DAP brand does not make good paper clay. You'll need some water. You'll need some toilet paper. You will need a mixer of some sort, be it a hand mixer, a drill with a paint mixing head on it, or if you're absolutely insane, a stand mixer. If you have no mixer, you can also just use your hands. You will need about 3 feet of some sort of string, thread, wire, just some sort of line that we're going to use to make the impressions for pumpkin grooves. You're going to need some paintbrushes. I recommend about a 1-inch paintbrush, not the foam type, but something with actual hairs in it, and you may need some of these smaller artsy paintbrushes as well. You're going to need something to stop your pumpkin/beach ball from rolling. Usually a large bowl can do this job without a problem, or if you could just take some cardboard, put it in a circle, and then tape the ends together, that'll stop your project from rolling. You're going to need a beach ball to be the core of this thing. I recommend one that is 12-inch, and when they say 12-inch on Amazon or a lot of the sites, that means the distance in circumference from the top of the beach ball all the way down to the air nozzle at the bottom is 12 inches. The actual beach ball itself is usually about 8 or 9 inches across. The bigger you go, the longer it takes to do, and for a first-time pumpkineer, it's better to start with just a nice small beach ball. You will need a marker. You'll need some aluminum foil. You'll need some paints. There are no special paints, just the cheapy acrylics that you can get at most craft stores. The colors I recommend are a brown, green, a pumpkiny orange, a nice bright yellow, and a white. I recommend having some sort of sealant, like a polyurethane, Krylon triple thick coating also works, but something to waterproof your pumpkin at the end. You may want to have a strainer of some sort available for helping you get the extra paper pulp out of the toilet paper when it's absolutely immersed in water. Finally, a spatula will help you smooth out paper clay and distribute large lumps of it evenly on the surface of your pumpkin. Now, because I have the unfortunate problem of honesty, I do feel compelled to address the clickbaity title. The 5-hour part of 5-Hour Pumpkin refers to the time in hands-on time that it takes to get it all put together. That time does not count the amount of time that it takes to mix up paper mache paste, mix up paper mache clay, and deal with all the other rigmarole. That is simply hands on the project time. It also doesn't include the drying time. God, if I could produce it in 5 hours with all the drying time, I would be the happiest little pumpkineer in the world. But that needs to be addressed. And now you have your complete ingredients list and everything should be hunky-dory. I have one final shout out before we move on to the opening video where we're going to start to make some really cool stuff.
A huge shout out for this project has to be made to Joni over at the channel Ultimate Paper Mache, without whom I could not have made this, because her techniques have been absolutely invaluable in updating my old techniques to things that are far more accessible for the bulk of folks in the world. So her video will be linked down in the description. Please go check her out. She is fantastic.